Hello, beautiful people. Happy St. Patty's Day. I'm not wearing green, but here's a green weight. Okay, so I'm videoing this because it's been 1 month to the day, I think, since starting to make some changes and taking care of myself and managing all of that and starting to improve on these areas of my life. It's been 1 month since I started All-Star, joined the All-Star group with Dave Scatchert, and started breaking through some of my blocks, limiting thought beliefs, looking at where I wanted to be, graphing that out, and really digging in. So I wanted to be really candid about the journey, because I know this will help people understand. So often what we get to this point in our fitness journey, or if we sign up for a program, so to speak, where we feel like it's not working, where we're like, you know what, the changes aren't enough. I had expectations and I lost this much weight, but now I have this to deal with, whether it's skin or just areas that you're still not happy with. And this is where I just want to say, halt. Stop all that negative bullshit. So we do this because we are driven. And as I found out, if you're a liver person, nothing's ever good enough. So what we can tend to do, and if you're not guilty of this, good for you. I'm not talking to those people. But the people I'm talking to are the ones that no matter how hard they work or okay, it's not about that. So the point I want to get to across is that you've been working hard and you think, well, I've been pushing this stone up the hill for a month now, and it's been hard, right? Like the effort it takes, the time it takes, the dedication it takes. Yes, it's been hard. And just before you get to a little plateau is going to be the hardest push. And that's usually about a month in my experience. So that's where I'm at today. And I'm human, so it's not that I'm not experiencing that. It's not that I'm not going around and around about how it isn't enough progress, or the changes haven't happened quickly enough, or this is still an issue, or this is still an issue, or that is still an issue, okay? So it's not that I don't do any of that. That's why I'm being very candid about this video. Because I'm human and we all do it. So what I'm saying is, usually before you get good at something, where you start to, let's say, become a bit more of a master at it, or it becomes natural. So I'll use the analogy that was presented to me when I was a kid practicing basketball. I would shoot hoops every day in junior high, at lunch, at recess, at home. I had a basketball hoop. I would shoot hoops every day. And forget what I was working on, what skill. I think it was a layup, or a left-handed layup, or maybe it was a free throw shot. One of those skills. And I remember my dad came out one day to help me, or to just play with me. And I said, I was getting frustrated. He could tell I was getting frustrated because something wasn't working. And it's almost like that point where you feel like you're getting worse. You feel like you've backslid, or you feel like all of a sudden you just don't have your shot anymore. I've seen it happen in every sport with every level of athlete when they go through a slump. We call it a slump. Some people label it whatever. I think that's a terrible word for it personally, because what it means is you're actually you're failing often enough to actually learn something. And what I mean by that is you have pushed yourself to that next level of preciseness, or in basketball sports, we call it flow. You've pushed yourself to that next level of automaticity in your shot or in your game, in your technique. So you have pushed yourself to that next level, so you are failing more often. You're actually getting more things wrong because that's where the learning happens. So in the basketball analogy, I was missing more shots than I was making because I was perfecting the whole trajectory of like the nervous system involvement, the movement of my arm, the hand-eye coordination that it takes to make a free throw shot, for example. I was honing in on that, so I was making more mistakes so that I could learn the proper form. So it feels shitty, you guys, in that spot. It feels shitty, and that's when most people give up. It's when 90% of us go, this isn't for me, it's too hard, I hate feeling this way, I don't like making mistakes. That's where the quitting comes in, or the negative self-talk or whatnot. So back to life in general, and what I'm doing here is not a program. There's no end to this program, and I did not expect to be to a certain place or spot within 1 month. People keep asking me, are you training for a race? Are you, I'm like, no, this is just my lifestyle. I'm just training for being a healthy person without heart problems or liver dysfunction or cardiovascular disease. That's what I'm training for. I'm setting up my body to avoid whatever genetic problem might be lurking in my lineage. You know what I mean? So this isn't a program for me, and I didn't expect to be at a certain place, and yet I still had expectations of the physical reality of that and how I would look, how I would feel, and where I would be 1 month. I didn't have them at the beginning, but now that I'm here, I am doing the human thing of like saying this isn't enough. So I wanted to dig into that. And so back to, sorry, I'm all over the place, but back to the basketball analogy. My father, in all his wisdom, brilliant man, said, usually when you feel like you're failing and it's hard, when it's getting really hard, that's when you're just about to get it. Just about to get it. So that boulder that you're pushing up the hill, whether it's in your finances, whether it's in your body, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in your whatever area of your life that you've been pushing that boulder up the hill and really putting a solid effort into, and it's getting sticky, it's getting tough, it's getting hard, and you think, I'm not getting anywhere, you're actually just about to get into the flow. So I wanted to normalize that. I wanted to sympathize with that, and that's what we do. So for me, in my experience right now, being a woman, being 40 and all of these things, it's like, you have expectations of how you want to look. I know all of you do, and if you don't, bullshit. So what I wanted to touch on, really importantly, is that when you start to lose weight, what happens is your body can actually look kind of funny for a while. Especially if you've lost a large amount of weight, and anyone who has would know this. And so accepting that So what happens is you've now lost weight. So you have some stretching and some pulling on the skin. So it's going to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not, all the effort you've been putting in is still going to produce results of like, oh, my skin's saggy now. I still have stretch marks. There's still cellulite in places, and you're seeing more of it now because you've probably lost fat. And as you know, fat fills up the skin and makes it more plump. So when you start to lose that, you're actually going to notice more of these things, like the wrinkles and the stretch marks and the skin and the sagging, especially if you're a woman who's had children or gone through any abrupt weight or fluctuations in weight and things like that. So the images that we see, you guys, in magazines and Instagram and Facebook, whatever we're bombarded with, isn't real. And so when we set out to look a certain way or have a certain expectation of how our body will respond to exercise, we are actually self-defeating the purpose. Okay? The reality of how you will look during your fitness journey is completely different, right? And you have to kind of let go of that in order to love the body you were given and to make it that best version of who you are. You have to come home to it. You can't keep talking negatively about it. We do this a lot. It's like, well, I'm still not happy with my butt, and oh, my legs, and my tummy's never going to be the same as it was when I was 30, and blah, 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 blah. Guys, that's low energy frequency. That's really low energy, and that's really shitty to talk to your body that way. Really shitty, and your body hears you. So do you think a body that's being told that it's not good enough, that it has all these changes to make, that is it gonna feel like performing? Is it gonna have the energy to run even further and faster and lift even more? No, because you're putting negative energy into it. So you get what you put in. And I'm not saying you don't get results from being critical, because I see lots of women that do. But what I'm most concerned about is how that criticalness of how they show up for their body is affecting them. Is affecting them. There's a point where it becomes abusive. It can reach that tipping point where it becomes obsessive. And that is a scary place to be. I don't want anyone that I work with to ever feel like that, because what's most important about our journey is how we feel about ourselves. If your program, if your exercises are starting to make you feel less than, starting to make you feel critical of yourself, you need to question the programming. You need to question what images you've been seeing of what a body that should look like. And you need to get back home to your body and how it feels. So I say this with so much love and respect, and I say this as me too. This isn't coming from I'm above and over this. No, this is coming right from inside of me and my experiences. So me too, you guys. So you got this boulder and you're pushing it up the hill and it's getting hard. Okay? So don't quit. Don't bring yourself down with images of perfection and what a fit body should look like. You are doing the best that you can, and you are making progress little by little every day, with every workout, with every deep breathing, with every healthy choice. You are making those little choices that are putting you in the trajectory of health as opposed to the trajectory of disease every day. So good job. Keep going. Don't worry about the bikini and the skin and the wrinkles and the cellulite and the scars. Those are just part of who you are. So I'm going to be very brave and show you who I am. I've had 3 children. I don't have a C-section scar, but my tummy will always look like this. The skin is sagging. Now more than ever because I've lost weight. So do I feel very good about it? No. You know, there's just things about this old bod and what it's been through that don't need to change. That don't need to be told that they're wrong, or that they should be fixed, or that I need plastic surgery or some sort of Botox or some sort of pill or some sort of cream. This is who she is. Can I invite all of you to do the same thing today? To stop being so critical and stop trying to change who you are. To come back home to yourself and live in health. All right? Powerful stuff. Peace. Love you.